Hello, good evening sa inyo. It's nice to be back here in Manila and it's nice to see people, especially the OGs, yun nandito. Talagang iba dito, 10 years ko nang hindi nakita. Dito pa kami sa Matrix Creation pa nakita. And of course, it's nice to see new people, especially the current members of 24 Frames. Yan nga, sa batch ni Elron, and then yun na, pinasa na yung baton kay Kiana. Well, congratulations. Palakpakin niyo naman. Well, we're here tonight. It's because for an obvious reasons. And as we celebrate the 10th year anniversary, I would like to leave 3 points po, no, as we live, no, as we go back to our usuals, to our jobs, to our schools. I would like to emphasize the focus on filmmaking, on how do we redefine ourselves for the next 10 years of 24 Frames, no? So I'm going to leave you with 3 points, no? So number 1, napakahalaga nito dahil ito yung backbone ng 24 Frames. So the first point is to strengthen the foundation. You see, student organizations tend to have a constant turnover in nature, no? And while preparing this event, I came across this LinkedIn article. It was entitled "Building a Legacy: How to Run an Effective Student Organization." And it was written by the name of David Looney. He emphasized that student organization had to be more relevant, no, in the school community. And knowing that these opportunities for a student to develop lessons and skills that those beyond taught in the classroom. So I would like to read this excerpt, no, from this LinkedIn article. By its very nature, any student organization will be in a constant state of change and turnover. The fact of the matter is that college is temporary for most people. At best, you may have members for only 4 to 5 years maximum, and usually less than that. Whether the organization is going through good times and bad times, gaya ng sinabi ni Joshua kanina, napakaraming napagdaanan ng org. Whether the organization is going through good times or bad times, keep in mind that all things must pass. With that in mind, listen to this po. Understand that attitudes and methods that have been successful in the past may not be successful in the present. Likewise, methods in the present may not be successful in the future. Kaya yung ginagawa ho namin 10 years ago, kung ikukumpara mo sa ginagawa nila Elron, ibang-iba na ho. And obviously, nagbabago ho ang mundo eh. Kaya 10 years after this, iba na naman ang kalakaran, iba na naman ang sentiments ng mga tao. So sinabi nga, there should be a break free from the dangers of bad cycle. So ituloy ho natin. This is where every so often, an organization becomes super functional and cohesive. Everyone has an awesome time and everything is firing on all cylinders. These are the glory days and the experiences that people fondly remember 20 years later. But then, after 1 to 2 years, a large percentage of the members graduate, and all of a sudden, this organization is back to square one. The organization then goes through a few years of chaos, disorganization, and struggle to get back on its feet. 24 Frames ho yun. Hindi po siya perfect. Napakarami hong pinagdaanan. There are a lot of roller coasters, gaya nga nasabi nila. Finally, and with the right collection of people, the organization becomes good again and the cycle repeats. Ito ang tanong. How can student orgs avoid this cycle and create success that not only lasts but also grows through the years? So there are 2 things talaga to break the cycle. So number 1, ito, paborito ko ito kasi talagang based on my background, I was immersed with diversity. This is the number 1 thing, diversity. If the organization is top-heavy with upperclassmen, that is a very bad sign. it is critical to have a healthy mix of underclassmen as well. Kaya kung titignan mo, ang Pilipinas we're a macro-ethnic country, no? Kumbaga, iba-iba tayo. May Tagalog, may Cebuano, may Ilocano, may mahirap, may mayaman, class A, B, C, or whatnot. May mga iba-iba tayong mga experiences and backgrounds. Pag pinagsama-sama mo yun sa isang team, magpa-flourish po eh. And number 2, identify and promote good leaders early. Yan yung ginawa ni Elron para kay Kiana at sa mga susunod pa. Figure out who the young go-getters are and give them opportunities to develop early and often. Give them responsibilities even if it seems above their level. Soon enough, they will be the experienced ones running the show. Kaya hindi talaga naging biro yung pagtayo ng 24 Frames during my time. And talagang, it's not an overnight thing. Talagang unti-unti ho yan, especially for the first 2 years ng org, napakahirap po. Tanungin yung mga OGs, alam ho nila yan. May mga kanya-kanya ho yung sugat yan. Diba? And of course, despite of that, we were able to have, to seek help from our mentors, our professors back in the day. Of course, the school, CIIT, they were able to help us out despite of these challenges. Kaya nga ho, kahit unti-unti ho yan, paglipas ng panahon, pero ang importante dito, napaka-constant naman yung ginagawa natin. Kaya nga sabi nga sa Visayan proverb, di ba? Hinay-hinay, basta kanunay. Kahit dahan-dahan pa yan, wag na ho tayo magmadali, di ba? Like ngayon, alam ko, late na tayo ngayon dahil, overtime na tayo. So, sorry about that. And sabi nga ni Lao Tzu, isang Chinese philosopher, sabihin ko lang, the journey of the 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Talagang unti-unti ho yan. And 10 years, I would say, nagsisimulang pa lang po tayo. As leaders po, including me, in behalf of Amiel, sila Joshua, and for those leaders, student leaders who are not here tonight, alam mo, saying yes, it's very difficult for us kasi we don't even know what will happen next. But we just simply said yes. Sabihin ko lang yung sinabi ho ni John Anouilh, isang French screenwriter, to say yes, you have to sweat and roll up your sleeves and plunge both hands into life up to the elbows. It is easy to say no, even if saying no means death. Let's go to the second point. Since we have a strong foundation, but we're able to come up with a vision, let's redefine the vision. We already know the vision, nabanggit na ni Elron kanina, and is to uplift the Philippine cinema. And that's our main vision and mission of 24 Frames. It is very important for us kasi sabi nga nila, where there's no vision, the people perish, di ba? I would like to share this excerpt from the book Visioneering by Andy Stanley. So sinabi ho niya, vision carries with a sense of conviction. Anyone with a vision will tell you this is not merely something that could be done. This is something that should be done. This is something that must happen. It is this element that catapults men and women out of the realm of passive concerns and into action. It is the moral element that gives a vision a sense of urgency. Kaya kailangan ho, meron tayong drive para mangyari yun. Yung nakafocus ho tayo sa ating mga goals, kahit sa ating mga life goals natin. Kaya looking forward, this is the question, how the next generation of Filipino filmmakers respond to a calling. And how do we respond to a calling? Well, if you're taking a look on the current status, yung current state ho ng Philippine cinema, talagang nagiging broad na ho siya. Lumalawak na ho yung ating storyline, in terms of storyline, and even our audiences are getting smarter more than ever. Take a look on an example, yung MMFF last year. Magkano ho yung tinabuho nila? Baka may alam sa inyo, magkano ang kinita ng MMFF? 1 billion. Imagine mo walang Vice Ganda, walang Vic Soto, walang Coco Martin or whatnot. but we're able to produce films, quality films. No? I would like to share an article from GMA News about the MMFF. Ito yung sinabi ho nila in terms of the gross receipts, no? And na-interview ho nila yung acting chairman ng MMDA, si Attorney Artes. So ito yung sinabi niya, we received reports that moviegoers watched multiple films while others watched films repeatedly. Hopefully, we can sustain this beyond the festival so that our film producers can offer quality movies all year round. That's why vision is very vital for us kasi it gives us a clear direction on whatever goals we have in life. And that way, we will have a better understanding on what we want ourselves to be. Ngayon, tanong ko kayo, when is the perfect time to set our vision? Is it tomorrow? Is it next month? Or next year? Or kung kailan nyo gusto? If I were you, the perfect time to set the vision, it is here and now. Ngayon na mismo, gawin na ho natin. Let's go to the third and the last. Let's navigate the future. And I know this is very exciting for many of us kasi, as the world evolved with technological advancements and of course with the rise of AI or the artificial intelligence, and many people think that this will take over our jobs. And I came up with a research and it says that there's a study that 80% of jobs can be replaced by AI in the coming years. So anong magiging tugon natin dito bilang isang filmmaker? But because we have our mentors, we have our professors who help us out here in 24 Frames and of course in CIIT, for the members, the alumni, for those for those people who are already working, meron na ho tayong pinangahawakan eh. So is there something na meron tayong kinakatakutan regarding AI? And you think that it could affect the Philippine cinema as well? Well, let's find out. Let's see. And our future for Philippine cinema, it has to be globally competitive. It is because kailangan ho nating sumabay eh. Otherwise, mapag-iiwanan ho tayo. And of course, the eventuality of our film industry is to reach out to non-Filipino audiences, which is happening right now. Kaya nga meron tayong Netflix, meron ho tayong iFlix, meron tayong Hulu, Prime Video, whatnot. Since we've talked about AI, maybe people think that AI as a threat for possible job replacements, no? And others think that AI could lessen their workloads. Kumbaga, mapadali yung kanilang mga trabaho. Kaya ang dami ho talagang reactions regarding AI. And there's a strike that happened, that was struck in Hollywood last year. If you know what happened, no? Yung SAG-AFTRA, talagang pinaglaban ho nila yung mga kapwa nila filmmakers, yung mga film workers and everything. For 3 months, hindi ho sila nagtrabaho sa kanilang mga studio. Just to, yun nga, meron silang goal, meron silang inaasam, which is nakuha nila yung kanilang protection from AI. So that's the main thing of that strike. Now, if you really don't understand the tech improvements, you would think that machines are getting brainier than us who have brains. No? But remember, makina lang ho sila. Tayo ho, may puso, may dugo, may damdamin, may luha. Marami ho tayong panguhugutan. We have lots of stories to tell. Kaya ibang-iba ho tayo kumpara sa makina. Ted Sarandos, the CEO of Netflix, assured that filmmakers won't be replaced by AI, and he was interviewed by by one podcast recently. So sinabi ho niya, as an assurance to the public. So sinabi ho niya, creators who learn to use these tools better than everyone else are gonna win. Not companies who create, but people who create. It's feasible that AI can replicate or imitate those things. Listen to this. But there's something about the authenticity and the reality of human experience that people see, and they can also see when it's inauthentic. Despite of these events, our future really depends on what we do things in our life. It really depends on what we do things in our industry. Kung ano yung ginagawa ho natin ngayon, magre-reflect ho yan sa ating kinabukasan. That's why this is one of the most important life, tawag ditong, yun nga, life. Nakalimutan ko na. Kasi overtime na tayo, pasensya na. This is the most important life principles. Ayan. We are responsible for our future. You are responsible for our future. I am responsible for my future. That's why I would like to use this opportunity tonight to say thank you to all the former and current members, the advisors, film lecturers, film professionals, for their wisdoms, the guidance, their experiences, their skills, even philosophies. I would like to thank the OG members here. Salamat sa pagpunta, salamat sa pagsuporta. Salamat sa mga kasama ko na naging officer din, who became part of 24 Frames from 2014 onwards, because they stood up and they said yes. They stood up to continue the work that we've started 10 years ago. And now we're here in Matrix Creation celebrating the 10th year anniversary. Can you please give the big hand for everyone? Alam mo, sa totoo lang, itong setup na to, yung pag-create na itong event na to, alam mo, sa totoo lang, wala naman talaga kaming pera eh. Alam mo, ang totoo niyan, aminin ko na sa inyo, inutang ho namin niya sa 5-6 sa all. De joke lang. But of course, there's a labor of love with each and everyone who said yes to be part of this team to organize this event. I would like to say thank you to President Elron and his officers for continuing the work. Sige, palakpakan niyo sila, Elron. Yeah. Of course, sila Kiana, yung mga susunod, I would like to give them a big hand as well. Sige nga. Well, this is my message for all of you sa mga susunod na officers. Actually, leading a student organization or being a student leader is not just about personal or professional development, no? This is a one-time opportunity in our student life. It is our calling. And pour everything out, itodo na ho natin yan. This is also the calling to help out your fellow community, a student community, and to serve the organization you are in, which is 24 Frames. Special thanks to CIIT, to President Sherwin, for the support, not just for the organization, but also for the whole of CIITizens. And I'm very grateful for that. Actually, we're ended, but I'm going to leave 2 questions for you. For the next 10 years, how can we define where we're heading? Alam niyo ba saan kayo patungo? Nakita niyo na ba? Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, or kung kailan man. We'll see. For the next 10 years of 24 Frames, are we willing to keep the ball rolling? This is no longer us anymore as alumni. This is for the next generation of 24 Frames. We expect many changes in the long run, but the foundations and the visions that we carry should remain intact. Strengthen the foundation, redefine the vision, navigate the future. Magandang gabi sa inyo. Maraming salamat po.